What's up, bitches?
It's brunch time.
Welcome to another episode of Dead Bitches Brunch. We are very excited to be here tonight. We have a guest on tonight that it's been in the works for a while. So we are very excited to have none other than the king of dark energy himself, S.O.N.
Hey, yeah. Is one we all won. Cleansed by the fire, it can't be undone. It's like a wrestling entrance. I like that.
That's what all thanks to our producer, Mr. Bleeds, back there. What up, son?
What up? It's good to be here, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing? Because we know a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now in Legion Realm.
Absolutely. I'm good, man. Honestly, the way I see it is if I complained, then the powers that be might change something. So I'm just going to roll with the punches and the blessings and fucking make something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
It reminds me of like a plaque you'd see in a mom's house, like bless this stress or something.
God bless this stress.
Oh, seriously though, like I've watched, several interviews that you were a part of, and like one thing I take away from everything is like you're just so fucking positive, and I just admire the fuck out of that. Like no matter what, it's just like we're gonna manifest good shit, and good shit's gonna happen, and that's your fucking attitude, and I love it.
Absolutely, man. Well, there's no other way for me to be, because if I was the opposite way, then it would just be destructive. You know what I'm saying? And there are some destructive days too. That's just part of the balance. But the main fucking intent should always be to manifest something positive out of the bullshit the world throws at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most of it. A lot of people wouldn't expect that from you. I mean, number one, your image.
Mm-hmm.
All the fucking dark, wicked shit that is your artwork and your music on there. But yet you are like the nicest, most positive person. And
it's like the king of dark energy is the most positive person ever. Like,
well, a little bit of lore in that, right? So like dark energy itself is actually the driving force that pushes everything to expand in the universe. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that people, when they see King of Dark Energy, they think I'm probably being an edgelord. But on some real shit, like the suffering that we get, which is guaranteed in your life, you know what I mean? We might as well take it and do something positive with it instead of making us fucking monsters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm a huge, like, I don't know. I've already had a few drinks here, folks. So dead bitches. No, but you have to face the hard times. You have to face the dark shit. You have to be realistic about these things, and you can't just sweep them under the rug and say everything is fine. And so the message that you have is so powerful because it is so much truth in it, and it's so counterculture versus what they tell everybody nowadays is, be positive and just keep on trucking. And you're just like, no, you gotta fucking face the reality.
Absolutely. There is no growth without shadow work. And if we fucking like just deny things and sweep them under the rug, I don't know, you're better off ignoring it flat out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know. It's fucking toxic for sure.
You've got to embrace the darkness, and it inspires you to, just get to that next level. It's like Super Mario.
I think it's important for like us to know what we're capable of as humans. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people end up doing shit they never thought they'd do because they denied the fact that they could do it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Mm-hmm. But, like, we all have the capability to be like Hitler or like Christ. You know what I mean? But usually we fall somewhere deep in the middle.
No, very true. I mean, you have to face those pressures and stuff, and you have to face those fears to get to that, to evolve to that next level. And I mean, that's just fucking life. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about tonight is we want to know the origin story of S.O.N. How did this being become?
Like the more that I've sat with it, the more I feel like it inevitably found me. in like the 3D world though, like what we live, like this shit kind of just fell together like a perfect storm. Like I feel like throughout my adolescence and shit, like I was really like breadcrumbed, like the occult stuff and shit like that. Cause like little by little, it made a little bit of sense. And when I was like 27, I'd say is when like it really like all came together. It started to come together a little bit earlier now, but like I'll never forget the moment that it actually all came together. I got the name though, off of like a crazy Christian lady on a Greyhound bus, because I used to go by a different alias, and I remember me and her were talking. I hadn't eaten in like 2 days. I was traveling and shit, and she bought me a pair of headphones and a sandwich, and we was kicking it, and I showed her my music at the time, and I told her what my name was. She was like, well, why do you call yourself that? And I was like, because I'm like the king of making something out of nothing. And she looked at me and she was like, something out of nothing. I like that a lot better. And then we split ways after that. And I don't know, it just stuck. S.O.N. I don't know. It seemed right. It just seemed right.
Damn.
No. It's very, very fitting that we hear that story of how the sun was risen on Easter Sunday.
Yes, he is risen.
Yeah, we didn't mention that the Greyhound bus incident was actually on Easter Sunday too. That's awesome though, that there's actual, content to the story and the name and everything that came out of. So that's cool as hell. I love that.
Absolutely. I feel like it just feels like a perfect storm, man. All of it. Even like since Greatest Eyes has come out, and like everything has given life to itself. Like not everything was planned by me. You know what I mean? It just kind of all naturally goes. It flows, man. So who the fuck am I to stop it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it seems like this movement is evolving beautifully. So
absolutely.
See what's in store.
Yeah, you're killing it, man. I mean, one thing that Brandon and I have said numerous times is your energy when you get up to perform. It's undeniable. I mean, your stage presence and everything that you put into it, and that stage show we're now starting to see evolve and grow and become, more of your vision able to, come into flourishing for people to see. And it's fucking awesome, dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. The love means I'm in a state of eternal gratitude towards anybody that feels like that towards what we're doing, man. Because all I want is to provide something that like makes people want to be the best version of themselves. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm on that mission myself. So if we all do it together, we manifest that shit like 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Well, creating art that inspires others to create art, like that's a powerful thing.
Absolutely. So. I think that's the reason people should make art outside of expressing themselves. I know like money's involved in shit, but at the same time, it's like how dope is it that like a piece of art can completely consume your life, and then you can make art by intaking that, and then your output is gonna be somebody's input to make their output. I don't know. That shit's dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think everybody appreciates too that when they, see you perform, it's not just watching you perform and do your thing. It's that they feel like they're a part of it, and they might actually end up on stage with you by the end of it too. So that's just something like so captivating to everybody to feel like that they are actually just a part of it and not just watching from afar and admiring.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I loved about being a juggalo growing up, man. Like, you know what I mean? The ICP shows and shit, at the end of it, it just felt like we were all a part of this thing, you know what I mean? And I don't know, that's definitely where my pieces of my inspiration came from. I wanted to draw the line where there's no lines between like me and the other person watching, you know what I mean? What the fuck would make me better than them? This is an event. This isn't just me up here acting cool while some dude, like, fuck that, man.
Right.
Everybody's involved, you know what I mean? And like, I mean, fuck, the people are who buy the merch, they're who support the dream. They're like, you know what I mean? They fuel the beast that the act ends up becoming. So like, why the fuck not? Why can't they get up here?
Right. whether the people that work at the venue like it or not.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
I just read a comment that somebody put out a post and they tagged you in it that was like just recently at the Super Famous show that when you said everybody come up on stage and they said they heard the people working the event were like, are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? Good.
Yeah.
Good. I hope I made their night spicy.
Right. Hell yeah. You know what? Maybe you should join the Hive and then you'd understand.
Right. Could be in a lame ass
fucking program.
Talking about that show, there was a moment from there that you posted and talking about this full circle moment here of you and your moms and your fams getting to see you perform at the level that you do there at a sold out show. Talk to us a little bit about that, man.
Man, there's like, I don't know, there's core memory moments, and that'll forever be one of them. It's just like when we did the Granite Size release party, it was at that venue, and like the turnout was like decent. It wasn't anything crazy. And since that moment, to turn around and come back to that venue in my home and perform to a sold out crowd, which is a lot of the hometown crowd, my mom, shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. There's moments where you just realize how blessed you are. You know what I'm saying? Some people measure success by the amount of money they have. Some people measure success by like the amount of things that they have. But like the amount of moments like that I have, I feel like is like the measure of my success. Because in that moment, like I was successful. There was, I don't know. It was fucking beautiful for real.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome. I had a little tear in my eye just seeing that when you posted about it. Like it was just such a cool thing to see and to know you the little bit that I do as the person that you are. I was just super happy that you got to have that moment with your moms and that full circle thing. So just
shit was dope, man. Me and that woman been through hell and high water. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, that shit was dope.
No, I mean, and it's been a journey. You know, I mean, the success hasn't always been there. There's been the struggles and the hard times, and you've kept on. You know, you've prevailed and you just kept on facing it and evolving. And man, fucking proud of yourself, dude.
Yeah. Man, thank you, man. I really appreciate y'all's praise for real. And on some real shit, the hard times never stop coming. But I think when you have like the fresh memories like that, they're like in your arsenal as your weaponry to handle them properly. You know what I mean? I'm fighting through the bad times to get to those fresh times, and the bad times will teach you shit so you handle the good times properly. You know what I mean?
So true. So I want to go back to the Sam Hain ceremony too.
Oh yeah. That was a good time.
No, that was a good old time. Go to Carl's Tavern.
Yeah.
The tiniest bar in the world that says, "How many juggalos can we fit in here?"
Their attitude is fantastic.
They're like, just buy the wings and we don't care. Just pack them all in.
If a bar was a clown car, that's how many. So with that performance, you really got to do some different things with it, and one of those was subjecting Gravity Bleeds Brandon to getting his face torn off, being tied up, possessed,
allegedly,
blood poured on him. And all of this was kind of planned on the fly. So I wanted to ask you, like, had you been kind of thinking of some of this beforehand, or
like little bits? This is how it goes. This is my whole creative process, man. Like, we'll get like a fraction of an idea, and then we'll put it into motion, and then that's really when it like develops. You know what I'm saying? And me and Philbert talked about it beforehand, but like the way it came together, we couldn't have planned that any better, in my opinion. The shit was dope. It was just like one of them things I mentioned at the beginning, man. It's like one of them natural occurrences. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where it's like it looked like we had to rehearse that a few times, but we just didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
No. It's all pure fucking chemistry and showmanship. It was dope.
No, it was
in the moment, spontaneous fucking artistry.
Speak of the devil.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, you motherfuckers singing his praises. Oh, he's so nice and positive and shit. Look what happens.
It's a balance, Brandon.
Yeah.
A balance? I was tied up and tortured. Look at my fucking face now, man.
You're a handsome young man. Will you stop it?
With that, let's show them how you are. Let's show them what it's really like, when you start, really putting your art out there. Let's see how much of a nice guy you are.
Listen, this is a legend. There's no proof that that's even me. All right, that was me, but it was necessary. You like that love tap?
Open that fucking tent up.
You like that love tap?
Let us follow in your footsteps as we serve you as you serve us. Grant us eyes, ye mighty spirits. Grant us all.
Right before the drop.
He was just granting you eyes.
Right, man. Doctors would have charged you hella money for that. I'm over here doing community work and you call me a monster.
So I don't know if we talked about this. Fun fact about that show. So remember I had an eyeball hanging out at first? And as soon as it was pulled the hood off, I whipped my head, the eyeball went flying right away, right? So there went that gimmick because it was all slippery. I was bloody underneath, bloody on top and shit. And then after 3 minutes, he came by and smacked the side of my head. And it moved the mask, so I lost my sight in one eye. I'm fucking tied up, now. I'm tied up, so I can't fix it. So my face is folded. I can't see. It's dripping and shit. But yeah, it was fantastic. I had my arms were sore here from the back of the chair for 2 weeks.
That's right.
My flesh had never grew back. Dude, my right hand. Look, this is my left hand.
Right.
My left hand. This is my right hand. That's what happened after that. That's dark energy. Oh, so positive. Yeah, you think I can do anything with this anymore? No. Now I got to switch to the left hand to, diddle the clam and whatnot. This motherfucker's fuck.
You gotta feed the beast somehow.
Somehow.
You gotta sacrifice a little bit.
You're going for,
a little bit of give and take. You know what I'm saying? That was a fresh night for everybody else. And your sacrifice was appreciated.
Everybody else had a good time.
Right.
Demonic possession, adjustment, and you're fine.
It was allegedly demonic.
This man is evil.
I know. These men are evil.
Music has magic in it. It's real magic. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. It's chaos magic, dog. I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I think, Brandon, you have a clip of what... Whoops. Caught myself.
Of what we're going to do at you gonna tell him? I don't know if he's gonna tell any news. He tells everything. I don't think.
I can't say the one thing that you're about to say. Not my news.
Well, are you going to be there?
I don't know. That's Billy Obey.
Billy, get your shit.
Somebody call Bill.
If you're not at Camp Soul 3, we're just gonna boycott. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. You hear that, Bill?
Well, let's say if he was, wink, wink. This is what I have a preview of his set
potentially.
Here.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Oh, yeah, possibly in another dimension.
Oh shit! forgot to mention.
It probably already happened in another dimension. So,
or is it happening right now?
What is that? Oh my god! It looks. Oh god!
There's me. That's gonna be me.
So many jokes, bro.
There's Lydia. You see the breasts there.
You like that shit?
I think that's maybe that's one hole or something there. I'm not sure. So
look at that.
If you didn't know, that's how S.O.N was made. That's how babies like that look like
it's
that.
a birthing ritual.
Good.
Use your scientific term.
Yeah, my kids are probably watching this, so
they'll be all right.
They're just learning.
Your birth was much uglier, child.
I thought you said I came out of a flower.
Your performance in that though did get a little compliment there, Brandon. So yeah, nice
packs. Flex. Oh shit.
Yeah, and you know what? If you were not to show up at Camp Zool, like I said, we were gonna boycott just the three of us, but
yeah.
You are like just captivating the Zooligans left and right. So I think, we wouldn't be the only ones that would be, picketing outside of Terrortown.
Listen, on some real shit, if there's a Camp Zool, I'll be there. Even if I wasn't performing, I'd be there. That's you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I love the Zooligans, bro. It's been super dope to watch that entire thing grow. I couldn't be more proud of the boys and the Zooligans for that matter for holding down such a classy subculture. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not gonna say no names, but the idea for Zooligans I felt like was like juggalos with extra accountability. You know what I'm saying? And I'm good with that. And I think that they pulled it off pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
No,
I just called Bill and said, "Put you on," and he said, "Yes, master."
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
We all know that. We all know that is a false. That is a lie because Bill does not answer the phone.
Bingo, ding, ding. That's the realest shit I ever heard.
I'll talk to somebody.
I'm gonna find this. He's like fucking bitches, just like roasting me the whole time.
If Bill ever sees this, we actually still love you and appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll stop once you confirm that S.O.N is going to be performing at the next Camp Zool. So,
you and your little April Fool's jokes. Take that.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there. I'm dad, son's father. You didn't know.
That's my dad.
I'm everyone's dad. And
no, he's just my dad.
Without our masks on, you'll know that S.O.N, the human person, he looks like me if I got overinflated from that one time I shot an air hose into my dick hole. And I did that, and I was like, if I kept it going and maybe I got a bit inflated and shit. Dude,
allegedly.
Me and you.
No. Maskless, he does look like your biological father.
He does though, bro. Dad?
Yeah, it's me, son. Eat your vegetables, pussy.
Fuck you, bitch. Where the fuck was you at?
I was in hell conjuring your dark powers.
You were in hell getting a pack of cigarettes. The fuck out of here.
Fine.
No, come back. Man.
He's never far away.
He said, fuck you, man.
Like, as long as they were in Newport 100s, it's okay.
The Undergroundaholics.
Feel like Mr. Bleeze might be owing some child support. Yeah, motherfucker, what's up?
Yeah, I am. I'm paying my dues. I'm coming. I'll be at Camp Zool. I can say that.
Wait.
I'm going. We know what's happening. I'm going to be there.
He's going to be there.
For all my friends.
Count on that.
I got fucking body parts. We're going to pie you in your fucking face.
Wow.
Do all kinds of clown shit.
That's right.
Looking at you. You. Gonna be doing some karaoke with maybe Luke the Goon and TJ Pettibone if we can get TJ drunk. So everyone,
drunk enough.
Slip something in TJ's water when you stop by the booth. You know.
Don't tempt me. That's my thing, man. Everyone thinks I'm terrible for that, but that is a fun game to play with your friend.
Well, we do have a question about your music. Is there going to be another music single coming or another album?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this tonight real hard. So one thing, I know a lot of the cats have been rolling with me since like the beginning of everything. Like, there's a lot of time in between Granite Size and whatever I have coming next. I had to do some living. I had to do some ritualistic manners and just figure a lot of shit out. But I wanted to let y'all know that after this wait, this will never happen again. This was I had to get some shit right with me as a person. You'll have singles coming. You're gonna have videos coming. You got a whole maybe 2 projects kind of come out this year. You know what I'm saying? So just be patient. The story's got to tell itself, you know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of shit in motion over here right now. And I said this at the Super Show, and I'll say this on here again. You can expect the next like full S.O.N record to come out this summer.
This summer?
Yeah, this summer for sure. I'm just not saying when, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hell yeah! Did everyone hear that?
Okay.
That's cool though. Like I admire that too. That you put out your art and your wicked shit at your own pace when it feels right for you, and it's quality over quantity. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody wants to hear new shit all the time, but you can't tell me that you don't put Granite Size on loop and listen to it over and over, and that it never gets old, because it does not.
We want to make timeless pieces of art, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in competition with other men or women for that matter. I just don't want to be in competition, and I refuse to be. So I feel like when you even have that attitude too, man, like when you drop something, everyone kind of stops to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think it's weird to like, you have to be mindful of other people and shit. But like to be in competition with your artwork, I just don't understand. I don't get the mind state. There's enough there's enough room at the table for all of us to eat. You know what I'm saying? We can learn a lot from each other. So I don't really understand the idea of trying to put out work at the pace of other people. That's fucking dumb to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like a major critic. Like I'll listen to stuff over and over and over, and each time I listen to things, I pick up more and more that I did the first time, second time, 10th time, 20th time, and kind of just like go over it in my head. And like I talk about this all the time with my husband, like all this new shit that is put out, and mostly mainstream stuff or whatever, but I'm like, it has no real content. Like if you listen to some things and you kind of just like get yourself in this like mindset to actually understand what the lyrics are, and not just like, oh, this sounds cool or whatever. That's what I really appreciate about music. And Granite Size, I'm telling you, is just something to like this level that it's so different than everything else. Like I truly appreciate it when I listen to it, and that's awesome. And I know I'm not the only one. So
absolutely, man. Back in the day, when boat makers would make boats, they would like inscribe the inside and outside of the boats with esoteric knowledge that they felt like they had. So they put their truth, or I wouldn't even just say esoteric knowledge, but just like their wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And they would put their truth into their work, because if they flat out told people what they thought, everyone would dismiss them, or they would think they're crazy and they would attempt to either lock them up or kill them. So I feel like I am in a position right now where I should be doing the same. And any understanding I have, I try to transmute it into content for the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how much I want to tell everybody yet.
But on your book, you did say everything.
Yeah, I did. The album coming up is the first part of a major series. It's probably going to be like the rest of the work I do as S.O.N. They're deities though, and I feel like they're very real, and they have a piece of me in each one of them. Meaning, my goal with this is if you drop. So, like, if I could paint a picture of the hive for you guys, we're all connected at the mind somewhere in the realm of thought, the realm of emotion. We're all connected, and if I drop an idea into the mind's eye of that big of a collective, then somewhere in a different realm, in my opinion, that thing has to become real. It then births it somewhere else to the point where other people could possibly even come in contact with it. So the concept of these records is going to be very much that you're going to be able to contact these deities, which are also pieces of me, well after I'm dead. And you can only do that through listening to these records. You know what I'm saying? I've been inspired by so much, and I'm excited to like really bring the whole prophecy to life and animate it for everybody, because it's not just me that's working on it. Like the audience, by listening, is also playing their part in this. It's technically a ritual for real, but something I didn't really read in a book. I made it up, and yeah, we're gonna see what the results are going forward. And here comes Brandon.
I'm back. I'm a nice guy now. You're a very sweet young boy. I'm sorry. But can you tell us a little bit? Talk about the approach, because I'm always so curious. One of the reasons I dig Granite Eyes, it is a concept album. Concept albums seem to be extremely rare, especially in hip hop, right? So you're saying you have this kind of lore, this concept planned out. You know, you're not rushing things out. But, you know, how does that work with your just kind of, do you have a philosophy and approach to your work and putting it out, and who you collaborate with and how you collaborate with on those kinds of ideas?
Absolutely.
So talk about that a bit.
So first off, if I said I had an approach, my approach is not having one on paper. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very similar to Rick Rubin's. I believe that when things need to exist, the idea is sent out to not just one person either, to multiple people. And I believe that we are kind of like antennas and personal filters. You know what I'm saying? So the humans, like, superpower is alchemy and transmutation. We get these ideas from somewhere else. We filter them through our heart, our mind, and our intuition, and then we spit out whatever we spit out. And, you know, like with mine would be like S.O.N, Granite Eyes, you know what I mean? Whatever my work is. When it comes to collabs, I'm super fucking picky, man. And like, to the point where I get scared that I offend people. Not about working with people. I'll do music with any of my friends, but I'm talking like who I'm going to put on a record. Like, if you go back to Granite Eyes, there's only 3 collabs on there and only 2 collab songs. One of them is MJ Lovecraft, who I've known since I was like fucking 13 years old. You know what I mean? So honestly, when I put him on there, it was a callback. And so was the collab with Bill and Joe, because, you know, I used to stay with Joe and shit, and like, they really helped set me off in my direction. You know what I mean? Like, it was a pivotal time in my life where I was living over there when Head of Horns and Psycho were coming out, and I felt like it was appropriate to have them on there. And the rest of the record is just me, because I just didn't feel like it needed anyone else. So like, even going forward, man, it's got to be people that I can go into that realm of thought with, which is a very intimate thing. You know what I mean? You can't just do that with anyone. And I know people that do, and like, maybe it's not as intimate and deep to them as it is to me. But if I'm willing to slip into that creative space with someone, then I have to feel safe to do so. You know what I mean?
So speaking of that collab, since you're incorporating them into a concept album, are you directing that vision and kind of what they're going to write about more, saying, hey, this is where this is falling, this is part of the story? Or are you just giving them, a beat? How much are you kind of directing that, pulling them into that idea?
So when I send out the collab, I'll send out the song that's basically done, but with their verses open. So like, whatever their interpretation of what's going on is the verses I'm going to get back. And this is also why I have them on songs that aren't like flat out storytelling songs. If I did that with someone, it would have to be something that was like finely crafted and directed, like you said. But I usually open them up to tracks like Amen, where like it was just pure calamity, wicked shit bars. You know what I'm saying? Or even EVIL. I know MJ had heard a lot of the record at the time that he wrote his verse. So he actually, and I didn't direct this, his was his idea. He like called back different songs I had already wrote in his verse on EVIL. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't say that I orchestrated this shit at on Granite Size at all, but going forward, if I do a story track with someone, I definitely will.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, cough, cough, Bill, cough, cough. I would love to see that Amen performed live at Camp Zool with S.O.N, Billy Obey, and Joe.
That shit will be fucking awesome. You hear that, Bill?
Wake up, Bill!
Come on, Bill.
Monday Night Terror.
On some real shit, Bill's very much a part of S.O.N too.
Mm-hmm.
For him making the beats and shit. I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like a collaborative effort. I mean, I feel like everyone involved with S.O.N's a part of it though. Like my old lady, like Alex, Tiffany on Facebook, bro, like she is such a part of that spirit of what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to fucking, I don't know, you go to an S.O.N show, the crowd don't feel right if she's not out there yelling. You know what I'm saying?
Her energy alone is like, even if they weren't paying attention, once you see her up there, you're like paying attention.
Absolutely. My boy Rod at Philbrick, fucking Kobe, like Luke. I don't know. I just feel like the entire team really like puts their all into making sure it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I can take my part, like I'll take my credit with the creativity and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a well-oiled machine for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like God just adds parts to it when parts need added. And I know that's a sensitive word for people, but it has to be something like that because it's not my conscious effort.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Talking about collab performances, last year you got to perform Move Back.
Yeah.
And when you came up there, like, such a good fucking surprise, but like just the energy pop in that room when you came up, like that was one of the top moments of that night, was getting to see you up there with them. And then afterward, just all the love you were receiving from the crowd. But how much in advance did you know that you guys were going to be performing that together?
Bill hit me up like a couple months before camp, and I was, of course, I'm about it, man. You know what I mean? Those are my brothers. I don't give a fuck if we're playing for a room of 10 people or like a fucking Camp Zool style stage or a sold out arena. It don't matter, man. Like something about those boys that I vibe with heavy. You know what I mean? And any chance we get to fucking do something like that together, I'm about it.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is fun as hell. Yeah.
No.
Shit was dope.
Dope. Yeah, it was a dope moment.
It was. We used to do that shit back in the day, man. And like, it's funny. It's one of those full circle moments. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember doing that shit at the gathering in 2015 when not a lot of people knew who AXE was with them. And I don't know, to come full circle at Camp Zool too, and then like to do it for a room full of people like that just, I don't know, the pop was real, the energy was live. I live for moments like that. This shit was dope.
Speaking of the gathering, is that something that you're putting a bid in and wanting to perform at this year?
For sure, absolutely. I got I don't know, I've been going to the gathering for 15 years straight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like tradition at this point. I can't really break it. Any year they want to have me perform, I'll perform too. I love throwing down for the Juggalos. I am performing though at a party at like my homies, the Shankside homies. They're throwing like a big ass party in the baller shit. They got like 4 baller sites, and like last year Clockwork E headlined it, and they brought like 300 people out to that bitch, like to a campsite. So we're gonna try to double that this year. And it's gonna be fun as fuck.
Nice.
For sure. I'll have a lot to promote at that point too. Things are going to be changing fairly soon. Any of the S.O.N shows coming up, you catch those are like the end of an era type shit. You know what I mean? I'm not unhappy with where things are, but it's time to evolve. It's time for things to get a little bit more extreme, the vision to come together a little bit more. I don't feel comfortable just going out and performing and that's it, or just having the guys stand there or nothing. Like, I have a vision for all of us. And yeah, so after these shows in May, I'd say things are going to get pretty serious.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, I hardly see a solid lineup anymore without your name on it. So just hearing that is like amping up the excitement for what's to come.
Absolutely, man. There's like, I'm not in competition with anybody, like I said, but at the same time, like, sometimes you gotta puff your chest out. You know what I'm saying, and let motherfuckers know like why they came to your event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not really a pride thing. That's more of a, or maybe it is. Maybe I do take pride in the craft itself. Because
you should though. You should. And there's a difference between being like cocky, but you're like sincerely humble and grateful. So that just makes all the difference, you know?
Absolutely. I think cockiness and like confidence get mixed up. Cockiness and confidence really get mixed up in insecure people. You know what I'm saying? And then I view that as kind of, it's sad. But there is a job that an entertainer has to invoke hope in the audience. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that's like my creed. We're out here doing that right now, just trying to make sure people know that anything that they can think of is possible. You just got to make that shit happen.
Fuck yeah.
So what events do you have coming up here? You said in May?
Yeah, I know I'm doing a charity event with my brothers Clockwork E and HB the Grizzly at Carl's Tavern. I can't remember the date off the top of my head though. I know I got Tooth Fest on May 27th at Carl's again. And then I'm playing a EDM festival. I'm really excited about this one. It's called Sound Valley. It's with Clockwork E again. We got like a stage takeover day, whatever. But I know that me and Clockwork co-headlining that joint. And then I think that's it for May. And I got a couple shows. I got Hool Fest in August, and then I got I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all I can talk about right now. Anyway.
That's everything we were willing to say at this point.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah. You think we're gonna do another Samhain ceremony?
Every year, man. Yeah, I'm already planning that bitch out. I was planning out when we left last year. Samhain's gonna be wild this year, man. And I'm big on the number 3, so I think this one's gonna be a fucking banger. I don't know, the annual event, you can always expect Samhain ceremony out of me. One thing that I'm definitely gonna work on too, it's kind of off topic a little bit, but I know that the game has changed, and like I am very much an album rapper. Like I like making a concept, I like stringing it together. You know what I'm saying? That's my shit. That's where my craft lies. But at the same time, I also know the game, everything switched to singles. You know what I mean? And most of these motherfuckers that are seeing success don't even have a cohesive project out, which I'm not hating on. You know what I mean? Like times have changed and whatnot. So after this next record comes out, I do want to, at least in between albums or something, I want to start doing like 3 videos a piece, just kind of like, I don't know, just feeling out what the whole formula is going to end up being. You know what I mean? Because obviously 2-year wait time just isn't going to do it. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. And like I said, after the album comes out this summer, I think y'all are in for a lot of fucking treats, man. I got some really fucking cool shit planned.
Hey, the Hive is fucking excited. You know, I mean, yeah, you made us wait a while for the second album, but everybody appreciates the quality and level of your work. So, you know,
I appreciate that.
We had to wait, but you didn't leave us with shit while we were waiting. So,
right.
And that kind of pulled back to my philosophy, what I was touching on. I really appreciate and just I respect your approach with that, the concept and the storytelling. And I understand, yeah, maybe sprinkle some things here and there in between. But I know what you're saying, all these single rappers that drop this shit, and it's like they're just throwing shit at the wall, right? To just see what sticks, and everything gets so disjointed. And I think, at least for me, the things that stand out are the concepts and pulling that together versus that, you know, incohesive, just random whatever. And in terms, I think that can also hurt artists, right? Like,
absolutely.
And just kind of throwing all that garbage out without a lot of substance. So,
well, at what point?
Waiting for perfection, that is just there's a beauty to that.
Absolutely. And like, at what point, like, I don't know, me as an album rapper, like, I'm trying to make art. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make an experience for the listener. And I feel like a lot of people are stuck in the game of watching the numbers go up. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm living proof that like the numbers matter, but at the same time, like you know how much love I get in real life. Like you know what I mean? Like the fans, that shit is real, and not all of them are all statistics on the internet. If you look, EVIL's got like 7,000 views. That's all organic and shit. But at the same time, like the way I get treated, it looks like I got 100K. You know what I mean? So like I feel like I don't know. I feel like motherfuckers want to be internet personalities more than they want to motivate people and be actual artists. And that's not me hating on nobody for finding success neither, because I hope we all get a plate. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like we have a job out here as entertainers to help these people, because not everyone views things like we do. That's what makes us artists. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, this realm, its balance is you're gonna get fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like pain is coming. But the difference between the regular person and the artist is honestly just how it's handled and what is done with that pain. Now, it takes a dope motherfucker to be able to take that shit and flip it around so the person that doesn't understand has something to relate to that invokes hope in their soul. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't have hope and we feel hopeless, then all this shit feels like it has no meaning. And then you're just hurting for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. When motherfuckers start to see that there might be a purpose to their suffering and they're willing to do something with it, that inspires more people to do the same. You know what I mean? But when people feel hopeless, that's when they start doing shit like smoking crack or doing heroin or just something to take away the fucking pain, drinking every day. You know what I mean? Like, the people that make those decisions are still humans. And this art is for them, too. You know what I mean? Most of us are lost just in different ways. And like we judge people on who can hide it better or not. Man, fuck all that, dude. Make something dope with your bullshit. Like it doesn't even have to be art, but just do something dope with yourself to inspire somebody to do the same with them, man. I feel like we're all walking each other home, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Why not be helpful? My bad if I went on a tangent. I do that sometimes.
Fucking brother.
No,
Yeah.
I love it. And I feel like just your sound, just Grandest Eyes alone is just like the wicked shit that people have been waiting for to like thrive on and give them a new breath of life, something to hold on to and something to listen to just get by. And, you know.
Absolutely, man. I feel like that fake positivity shit can get the fuck out of here. Like, that's why I gravitated towards the wicked shit in the first place as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I ain't hating on nobody by any means, but it's like, be real with yourself, and maybe you'll make like I don't know. I ain't gonna say too much. I'll piss a bunch of people off. I'll stop.
Yeah.
I'll piss them off. Tell me what. I'll say that shit. I'll talk.
He doesn't care.
And you know, Lids is fairly new to this. You know, she used to be a Christian cult kid. If you didn't know, raised in Mexican, trying to teach the Mexican Indians the word of Christ.
Yeah.
She was waiting for Jesus to either come strike her down or save everybody, you know, and it's kind of about that positive aspect and think of these things as better in love. And there's actually a lot of darkness there, right?
Absolutely.
Here in this scene, and with what we're doing, the outer images, there's a lot of darkness, and that's what's portrayed, but there's a lot of love and there's a lot of positivity in that dark energy, right? Without the darkness, you can't have any light. And I think that's something that's helped, you know, bringing Lids into the fold, is seeing that recognition, that love, and that, you know, these people are a bunch of fucking sweethearts. And yeah, there's a bunch of dark shit and fucked up shit out there, but it's all stuff that we can relate to. And, you know, the cinematic journeys that you take us on. You know, and we were talking about this. You kept saying that undeniable word, right, with your albums. But I'm saying it's also just extremely original and unique. You know, and even in, you know, some horrorcore artists these days, there'll be club shit, it's gun shit, it's just typical rap shit, and then there's maybe one dark song, right? Yeah. Like even ICP isn't a lot of horror anymore, and they kind of, you know, that the moral kind of compass of, you know, that they were grounded on has kind of faded away as well. Absolutely. And you know, when we're talking about this, I think Grandest Eyes is up there with Dark Lotus, you know, first album, and that theme, the magic, the originality of it, you know, and these universal concepts that kind of come through in this different way, and kind of having that positive message cloaked in darkness. And There's something out of nothing.
Absolutely. Maybe the dark isn't bad. Maybe bad and good is made up by us. Maybe there is dark and light, and all of it exists as one thing. That's really my idea right now, is that there's like an all, and we call it God, but we exist as a thought in the mind of that thing. You know what I mean? And the balance here is good and bad, because God's nature is good and bad, just like your nature and mine is good and bad. We can sit here and pretend to be like holy roller good people, but at the end of the day, you've had fucked up thoughts just like I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those things come from somewhere. It's because the nature of God is dual. It is duality. We exist as one. To be a victim and like to the prison of duality, I don't think is the nature of God. To transcend it and view it as one thing, though, I feel like that is the nature of God. But that's just neither here nor there.
Well, and I think
that's why I do the black and white.
One thing that gets twisted, right, when you talk about God, is people think Christianity, and Christianity is about that duality. And it's like, what do you say is good? What is evil, right? And to say, in Christian perspective, Satan that accepts everyone and stands up and says, believe in yourself. You have the power. Why are you going to be a slave to somebody else? But that's labeled evil. But is that bad? Is that evil? And that's just
right.
kind of, one of those Christian constructs where your Lord is breaking that.
I wouldn't even just say like Christian. I would say Catholicism, because like at the end of the, I don't know, man. Like I really tried to stem where all that shit started, because I don't think that the book is bad. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the Bible. I think that there's a lot of mysticism and parables and stories in that motherfucker that you could pick apart for days. They call it like the living word. You know what I mean? And I actually try to write my music like that, like to the point where it could mean a million different things to you. You know what I'm saying? And that way it's personal to the listener. But the Bible and shit, it has a lot of wild ass like mysticism in it. It's just the Catholics, they took it and they made it into a slave religion, and they made it into something where like you had to kneel and bow to something outside of yourself, when in reality all of these things are just a story about you finding God within you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the original intent of writing these things was to empower people, and it was spun in the exact opposite direction, and it put chains on motherfuckers' backs. And now there's people like myself, even, I can never get away from the idea of hell, dude. It's in the back of my mind. Like, not like constantly, it's not a bad thing, but it's always like the slight possible thing, because the idea was introduced to me. That shit's poison. You know what I'm saying? Imagine like a kid, right, that was never introduced to these ideas and the amazing things that this kid could do because they weren't operating off of fear. You know what I mean? Like that would be incredible. You know what else is wild about the statement I just said is when the people from over here, when the white people from over here were going over to Africa to get these slaves, they would not take Africans that were Muslim or that were Catholic. They would only take Africans that did not have a religion, that were connected to the all, to God. And the oppression there was more spiritual than anything else, because at the time, the Africans were the most spiritually advanced people on the earth. They took these people and they brought them over here and they oppressed them, because our DNA holds memory, and through generation after generation, these people forgot their heritage. Their actual heritage, and then they inherited the slave religions and shit like that, and they even apply that process to people like poor people today, like super hard. My bad if I went off on a crazy tangent.
No, you're good, man. Everything you're saying, like it's fucking spot on. Like Brandon said, like for me growing up in a religious cult, I think like a fear I had every day as a child was that the rapture was going to happen any second. Right. Any slight infraction, like if we would be made to fast for like long periods of time, and sometimes I would cheat and like I'd sneak food or something, and then they'd start talking about the rapture. Like I was like an 8-year-old thinking like, holy shit, I'm going to go to hell now because the rapture is going to happen because it's a bad storm. And my family's going to be in heaven and I'm going to be in hell because I lied and I broke this fast secretly by eating a candy bar or something.
That's
I had
abuse,
cash
man.
somewhere.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, and that fear is fucking crippling. And you have this fear of like not having an open mind, not having an opinion for yourself, not being pushed to explore and learn and to create. It was all about crushing someone down to follow and to be submissive and
Yep.
to be just a pawn for whatever scheme they had and stuff. And now years, later here, I'm love the fucking wicked shit. I've never been fucking more liberated and fucking happy and having the time of my life. Getting to see the love of my life get his head torn off and be possessed by a devil on stage, and then talking about how can we make a real decapitation happen, or at least not a real one, but one make look real. And at the same time, my father being like, "Are you a Satanist?" And I'm like, no, but like if it means being this fucking happy and at peace with myself and creating and feeling fucking empowered, then I don't fucking care.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. What's wild to me? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that's another reason why, people who know what you're actually about and all of this ancient knowledge and everything you have appreciate your music even more, because you're not just spitting this like wicked shit to come off as like spooky or whatever. Like you actually, like, you've read the Bible, like things, like all of your theories and all of your knowledge just ties in, and it just makes everything more like legitimate,
For sure. I've read parts of the Bible. I haven't read the entire thing. But I very much appreciate what you just said. I don't know how to say this without sounding crazy, but I think I already have the mask on, so fuck it. Yeah. I believe that there is a center of like wisdom, and I personally think that anybody can tap into it. I'm not going to say exactly what happened or how it happened, because I don't think that that's like full on public knowledge and shit. We can all talk about it in person and whatnot. I just don't want to do it on here. But like I said earlier, it's kind of breadcrumb fed to me, but there was a point in time where like I feel like I connected to that motherfucker like 10 times over, and like it was just like super overwhelming at first, but I haven't seen things the same since. And the other people in history that have believed that this I don't know what to call it, like this thing, this center of wisdom you can connect to, like Nikola Tesla believed that as well. I personally think that when they killed like Jesus and the girls at like the Salem witch trials and shit, I think that they all were just connected to this source, and they were spouting out the truth at an alarming rate, and the ruling governments murdered them for it. It's enough to change somebody, man. The moment that like it really, really clicked, and mind you, I had a couple like really eye-opening experiences, but like one of them that like I sat up from the table, and I'm not gonna say what I was doing, but I sat up from the table and I quit smoking that day, cigarettes entirely, like 10 years straight, chain smoking. Like I have ADHD, so it was like real bad, and I just fucking cold turkey that day. Never had the want to pick it up again. Because once you see it, it's one of those things that you can't unsee. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that like everybody else doesn't see it. So you sound like a fucking crazy person to everyone you're trying to explain things to. And I don't even know it. If you ask me, I don't know nothing. I just see things and I recognize patterns, and then like, you know what I mean? Like that'll lead to me being able to channel and explain them, but I don't know shit. Like I can sit here and talk to y'all and like we can converse and it'll come out that way. But like on my regular life, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like constantly thinking about it or nothing. It's a process that's happening in the subconscious now ever since this came about. If you guys get the chance, you should look up Nikola Tesla's theory on the Akashic records, because it's what I'm speaking on. It's fucking mind blowing, man. This cat invented like everything, like a lot of the things that we use today in our society, like off of this idea. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know, something cool you can look into later.
So
I think that, that what you're saying, it's like what it means to you, right? So I don't know what you're doing, but I've had a kind of a similar opposite moment when I used to do a lot of meth back in the day.
Yeah.
And that, and not being a spiritual person, but recognizing there's time I was dabbling, kind of went away with it, and then went back, and that emptiness, and I could only describe it as the absence of God.
Yeah.
Like that demon wiped that out of my system, and it was emptiness. Like, again, you can't explain, you can't say these words. It's something that you know as a person, but you can't explain. You seem crazy, and then it's like, oh, are you religious now or something? It's kind of like, I don't know, and it's kind of just hard to explain. Like seeing a dead body in a casket, right? And you're like, oh, that's where there's a soul, because that's just a shell, and it just feels so different.
Brandon, this is the second time someone's explained this feeling to me today, and that's really fucking crazy. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Patterns, bro. I'm super much paying attention now, though. Shit's wild. I think the presence of God too. I've thought about this a lot. So it's like a thumb, and it's like flipping through the pages, right? Our bodies and like what we're doing and shit, and time is very much the book, and like the present moment is the thumb that's flipping the pages, and I feel like that is God's presence. And like outside of that moment, whatever you want to say, it could be backwards or forwards, slightly off of the present moment, though, like the absence of God exists there. I've had an experience like this myself, and it's scary, man. That shit is terrifying. Like I don't know how to say it, but there's a certain warmth in the present moment that isn't in those other places, and that shit's it's intense, man. It's a lot to make you think about too. But my bad again. Hijacking.
Like personally, I love it. Like I was super excited for this PEBS paranormal probes that you were to be a part of, and so yeah, hopefully one day that'll pick back up. Either that, or we're gonna have to start like a new Dead Bitches Brunch like side gig. That's a Dead Bitches Brunch paranormal probes featuring S.O.N. Because I could listen to that and ask questions and hear your take on conspiracy theories and all that all day long. So
have you guys ever had paranormal experiences?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leah? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brandon?
Yep.
No, I'm not a girl, so I don't believe in ghosts.
Oh, you bitch.
That's a joke I have. It's like you ask if you talk to a woman and she says she don't believe in ghosts, she's a liar.
I wouldn't if I hadn't seen. I've seen some crazy ass shit, man. Some wild shit.
Yeah,
I think I have, but I try to draw that. I don't know. It'll be too long. I've had
He's
things,
a skeptic.
Things that I try to rationalize it and find some other explanation for it. And like even maybe they're DMT people that stay behind those doorways, like we talked about that before. So I don't necessarily believe in switching it to ghosts, but dead people hanging around trying to figure or fix something. But
I feel the same way.
Energy, some entities, some other things from different dimensions, or some shit that can come through and fuck with us, influence us, and kind of like demons can be good or bad.
Imagine if like hell was like, all right, like I was talking, like, God is the present moment and shit. Imagine if hell is like empty memories, like you reliving empty memories with nobody else's soul there. That would be fucking terrible, bro. My bad, I didn't mean to do that, but that's an awful thought.
Thanks for bringing up my childhood again, dude. No.
You're welcome, man. That would be fucking crazy. I had some pretty wild.
Myself to sleep tonight.
The rapture's happening. I know it. But not before Campsville 3.
No, that's right. At Campsville 3, we should let off a bunch of like sex dolls in the air and shit. That would be hilarious.
I don't know if you've had this, but it's a frequent fear of mine. It's like the most irrational fear. But if I go down the house and I can't find Brandon, and I feel like it's completely empty, and I'm like,
the rapture happened.
Right, I'm like, the rapture happened. I'm like, when the fuck is it taken?
Dude, come on. You know that if Brandon was gone,
what the fuck, man?
Like come up with a whole bunch of baths.
If Brandon was actually gone, if Brandon was actually gone, it was the Tommy knockers.
Oh,
the Tommy knockers got Brandon. That's the only explanation.
Yep. I keep calling out those aliens and their theories and like these DMT demons and shit, man. It's like when my brother's cats used to watch us all the time, and I said, "Hey, they're transmitting this show back to Cat Planet." cat stopped watching us.
What if that's real?
The story.
Like, what if that's the truth?
It could be. When I was a kid, I used to think like I used to have this fear, and I was convinced that cats hated me because they would just stare at me with like this evil glare. And it wasn't, it was just me. It was like not everybody that would be around me at certain times, and they would just give me this look. And I used to think like cats hate me for some reason. Like, yeah.
I mean,
they would fuck with me. They would like get in my chair before I was about to sit down, and yeah, it was an actual thing that I convinced myself.
Is this Leah trying to get some cat friends here?
S.O.N's mom just sent me this video. This is her conjuring him into existence.
You fucking bitch.
Sorry, I just like to show some things. So, Howling 2, your sister's a werewolf. Fuck cats, werewolves rule. Just like to,
goddamn,
show some fun clips like this, and nobody knows about this one. Very cool, like just almost,
with the bat dick,
orgy fucking ending scene here.
He's hitting him with the bat dick.
Yeah. Another sneak preview of S.O.N's next set. So
you fucking. Oh shit.
Oh, guys, we could go on all
Hey, you know,
here.
one question.
Go ahead, Leah.
I have to ask you one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Of all time?
Your favorite horror movie? Yeah.
I got Evil Dead tatted across my knuckles, so I'm more likely to say that. But I don't know. My tastes change. I don't know. We'll say Evil Dead 2 though. Evil Dead 2 is my shit.
Okay.
For sure. I like The Exorcist a lot too, though.
Okay.
Such a Rosemary's Baby's really good too. I know it's corny, but like, man, I don't know. There's something about that movie that still creeps me out to this day.
Oh hell yeah!
And so talking about movies, right before we go, I want to say one thing. You had to be there to experience it, because going back and watching it, the movie's trash, but the experience of the Blair Witch Project was fire. Like that, the way that shit was done was so fucking ill and dope. I just remember everyone being in a fucking like a fit about it when I was a kid, and then like, oh man. So like, I'll always say that that's probably one of the most dope horror experiences that has ever happened. But going back and watching the movie, it fucking sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
But of our generation, that was like scary as fuck, like top notch. Live footage of all this. I have the poster right behind me, actually, right over here.
Terrifying, bro. That shit was scary. I was a little kid too, man. You know what else was scary? I don't know if you guys ever seen The Fourth Kind, but that shit freaked me the fuck out too.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say Evil Dead 2 is definitely my favorite between Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. I did like the remake too, but Evil Dead 2.
Fantastic. I can't wait to watch the new one, man. My birthday's Tuesday, and I think the new one come out like a week after that. I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, that new one looks dope. I'm excited for. I'm excited for all the new horror that you can now go experience in the theater.
Yeah,
like, it's nice. It's something. I mean, usually we can't only catch everything on streaming, so it's nice to have the option to be able to go see something on a big screen.
I have really bad ADHD, so streaming is actually super bad for me. I'll just sit there and flick through the movies. I won't pick nothing. I'll sit there for like 2 hours and I can't find nothing to watch type shit. So like, I like when stuff comes to the theaters. Like if I pay for it, then I'll sit there and watch the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean?
I'm getting there for trivia and I'm staying.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my money's worth for sure.
Well, thank you so much for kicking it with us tonight, son. We appreciate it very much. We hope that you'd like to be back with us in the future, and we're looking forward to everything that you have on the horizon.
Let's get back together after camp. Let's plan for like after Camp Zool and whatnot, and yeah, this will be fun.
Oh, for sure. And for those of you who may not know already, Camp Zool, June 2nd and 3rd at Terrortown in Williamsburg, Ohio. Tickets available now, but I didn't get the link up for you guys, so figure it out. But you can do it. Anyways, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate everybody who's been kicking it with us tonight. we're back live again next week with another episode with Makeup Billy. So make sure to tune in and check that out.
Fire, it can't be undone. Collectively see through the same mind's eye as the sky opens wide in the old balanced skies. Any jet I pose a high